Back once again in the cell biology. Today we will deal about the chromosome. So the chromosomes are present in the nucleus. If you see the structure of a nucleus possesses the nuclear envelope, outer nuclear envelope, inner nuclear envelope, and within or the membrane, nuclear membrane encloses the nucleoplasm, and within this nucleoplasm such a thread-like structures are present which are called as chromatin fibers, which are usually observed during the interphasic nucleus. But when the cell division takes place, these chromatin fibers becomes shortened, rod shaped, and these rod shaped shortened structure generally considered as a chromosome. So chromosome is a Greek word itself. It contains the chroma and soma, where soma is the body while chroma is the color. So chromosomes are nothing but the colored bodies. In the nucleoplasm of the nucleus, these occur as a thread-like or a filamentous structure. Okay, and during the cell division, these thread-like structure becomes very distinct, which are generally considered as a chromosome. And during the phase metaphase and anaphase, these chromosomes are most distinct. In interphasic nucleus, chromosome occur as a network of fibrils. If you say the gametes of a species contain single set of chromosome, which are generally considered as a N. The haploid chromosome known as a genome. The diploid chromosome, which are present in the somatic cell and represented by means of 2N. Somatic cells. In the somatic cells, the chromosome occur in a pair, of which one chromosome has come from the female gamete and another one from the male gamete in a diploid somatic cell. The paired chromosomes are homologous. That means they are identical in the size as well as they carry identical genes. Polyploid number, when the chromosome contains more than 2 sets in the somatic cell, then it is called as a polyploid number. It may be triploid, where the 3 sets of chromosomes are present, maybe the tetraploid, pentaploid, hexaploid, and so on. Just see the morphology of a chromosome. The chromosome varies from species to species. Average length of the chromosome varies from 1 micron to 30 micron. Diameter also varies from 0.2 to 3 micron. Plant cell contains larger chromosome than the animal cell, and in plants, monocot possesses larger chromosome than the dicot. Whole collection of the chromosome in a nucleus is called as a chromosome complement, or it is also called as karyotype. Two types are present in a karyotype: symmetrical and asymmetrical. The chromosome of a karyotype of a similar size is called as a symmetrical karyotype, while when the chromosomes of a karyotype are of different in size, then they are called as a asymmetrical karyotype. Just see the shape of the chromosome. On the basis of a position of a centromere, chromosomes are telocentric, acrocentric, metacentric, submetacentric. Just come to know about the centromere. Chromosome consists of a clear zone or a constricted region. This constricted region is called as a centromere. This centromere is also called as a kinetochore or also called as a primary constriction. The part on either side of the chromosome are generally considered as the arms of the chromosome. So this one be the arm of chromosome, this one be the arm of the chromosome, and this one part is the centromere. And based on the position of this centromere, the chromosomes are classified into metacentric, submetacentric, this is a metacentric, the submetacentric, acrocentric, and telocentric. Just see the position of centromere. In telocentric type of the chromosome, the centromere is present at the tip region, while in acrocentric, this is the position of a centromere. Here one arm is very long while another one is very short. Okay, here as compared to acrocentric, the arms are shorter and another one is a longer, while in case of metacentric, it is exactly present in the center. Just see about the types of the chromosome. Just see the telocentric type of the chromosome. This is a figure of telocentric type of the chromosome where centromere is at the end of one arm of the chromosome. Okay, centromere is present at the end of one arm. The second arm is completely absent. Okay, so this one is a telocentric. Chromosomes are rod-like and centromere is at the end of one arm. Acrocentric type, these are also the rod-like chromosome. Okay, with one short arm and another one very long arm. Centromere is a subterminal in position. Just see the submetacentric type of the chromosome. This is a submetacentric type of a chromosome. Here chromosomes have unequal arm. One is a long arm and another one is a short arm. So this is a long arm and another one is a short arm, and centromere is present here, or it may form J-shaped structure or L-shaped structure. Centromere is present in such a position that two arms are unequal in length, while in metacentric type of a chromosome, it is just present in a center. Centromere is located in the center of the chromosome and two arms of chromosome are equal in length and it just forms a V-shaped structure. So based on position, chromosomes may be metacentric, submetacentric, acrocentric, and telocentric. Just see the structure of a chromosome. A typical chromosome shows pellicle. Each chromosome is covered by a thin sheath which is called as a pellicle and is made up of from a achromatic substance. Recent electron microscopic study shows the pellicle is completely absent. So if you see here, this is a chromosome. This chromosome is covered by means of a thin sheet of a achromatic substance, and this achromatic substance which covers the chromosome is called as a pellicle. But recent investigation shows that this pellicle structure is completely absent in the chromosome. Then pellicle encloses the matrix region. Okay, just say about the chromatin. Chromatin is a structure which is observed in the interphasic nucleus. Fine thread-like structure observed in the interphasic nucleus is called as a chromatin. And chromosomes or these chromatids consist DNA, RNA and proteins of histone or histone and non-histone proteins. There are two types of the chromatin. First one is a euchromatin, another one is a heterochromatin. If you see here in this figure, this is the portion of euchromatin, and this is the region where heterochromatin is present. So euchromatin and heterochromatin, these are the two regions of the chromatin. Euchromatin is an extended form of chromatin during the interphase. This is an extended form of a chromatin and is a major portion of a chromosome which is rich in DNA and is considered as a genetically active substance, while heterochromatin is a condensed form which is associated with the nucleolus. It's considered as a genetically inert substance, but biosynthesis of nucleic acid and energy metabolism are controlled by means of a region of heterochromatin. Pellicle encloses the matrix region. So pellicle, suppose this one is a chromosome, this outer one is a pellicle, and this pellicle encloses the structure which is called as a matrix region. Okay, so this matrix region is a jelly like, viscous and achromatic. Okay, and it they helps in keeping the chromonemata in the proper position. Okay, what is chromonemata? We will just see. Then just see about the chromatids. Within the matrix, chromatids are present. Generally, in the matrix, two thread-like structures or two thread-like symmetrical, longitudinally symmetrical structures are present, and these structures are called as a chromatid. So this one is the chromatid and this one is again chromatid. Two thread-like longitudinal symmetrical structures present in the matrix of a chromosome are called as a chromatids. These chromatids are twisted around each other. Suppose this one is a first one chromatid and another one is a such a type of a chromatid. So these chromatids are twisted around each other, and each chromatid contains long DNA molecule, single long DNA molecule. Just about the chromonemata. Where are the chromonemata? In the early stage, each chromatid contains single, so this is a position of a chromonema. Chromonema is the singular word, while chromonemata is the plural word. In early stage, each chromatid contains single spirally coiled thin thread-like structure called as a chromonema. At metaphase, each chromatid consists of two chromonemata. So these are the chromonemata. Okay, and these chromonemata are generally observed at a metaphase condition. So at metaphase, each chromatid consists of two chromonemata in close association with each other, and each chromonema may bear or they compose of 2, 4 or more fibrils, and these fibrils are coiled with each other. So first one is a pellicle is present, inside the pellicle matrix is present, inside the matrix chromatids are present, actually two chromatids are present, and each chromatid, suppose this one is a chromatid, two chromatids are present, both the chromatids are twisted along each other. Again, each chromatid now consists of two chromonemata, and again these chromonemata composed of fibrils, 2, 4 or more fibrils form the structure of a chromonemata. So these fibrils forms the coil structure, and these coils are again of two types. First one is a paranemic coil and another one is a plectonemic coil. So this one is a paranemic coil. These paranemic coils are superficial and loose. These are easily separable from each other, while plectonemic coil, these are the plectonemic coil, these plectonemic coils are closely and intimately coiled, and it is not possible or they cannot easily separated from each other. So chromonemal fibers forms the coils, and these coils are of two types. First one is a paranemic coil, another one is a plectonemic coil. Paranemic coils are superficial and loose and easily separable, while plectonemic coils are close and intimately coiled and cannot easily separable. Then next one is a chromomere. Chromatids possesses the chromonemata. Chromonemata possesses beaded structure, and these beaded structures are called as a chromomeres. Okay, so just see the chromomere. So chromonemata possesses many bead-like bodies, and these beaded bodies are such a type of structures which are present on the chromonemata. These beaded structures are called as a chromomere. So these are the chromomere. Okay, the chromomeres are tightly folded or coiled regions of the DNA. Okay, the region between two chromomere is known as a interchromomere. This is the interchromomere. So this is a chromomere, this one is a chromomere, this is again chromomere. These are actually the beaded structure, and the region in between two chromomere is called as a interchromomere. So chromomere corresponds the locus of a single gene, and they are considered to carry the genes during the inheritance. Okay, just see about the centromere. This is the region which is generally considered as a centromere, or this one is called as the primary constriction or region of the kinetochore. A constricted region at the meeting point of the two arms of the chromosome. This is the one arm of the chromosome, this one is another arm of the chromosome, and this is the constricted region or the meeting point of the two arms of the chromosome, which is generally considered as a centromere. Or It is also called as a primary constriction or kinetochore. Three terms are present. First one is a primary constriction, second one is a centromere, and third one is a kinetochore. These three terms are used for three different parts. Okay. Primary constriction. Primary constriction is the constriction between the two arms of the chromosome. Okay, so this is the one arm, this one is another arm, and a constriction present between two arms of the chromosome, or this one is a constriction between two arms of a chromosome, is called as a primary constriction. What is centromere again here? A primary constriction containing clear zone. Okay, primary constriction containing clear zone, or the place where the spindle fibers attached during the cell division is the centromere. Okay, and kinetochore, a centromere consisting of cup-like or disc-like structure is called as a kinetochore. So here this structure is called as a structure of a kinetochore. This is one kinetochore. A centromere consisting of cup-like or disc-like structure is called as a kinetochore. This cup-like structure consists of one or more granules and fibrils. These are the fibrils and these are the granules. So this cup-like structure consists of one or more granules and fibrils. These are called as a spherules. Okay, these fibrils are the extension or continuation of the chromonemata, okay, present in the arms of the chromosome. Centromere is about 0.2 to 0.25 millimicron in diameter, and depending on the number of centromere, chromosomes are again of 5 types. It may be monocentric, dicentric, polycentric, diffuse, or acentric. Monocentric, that means presence of single centromere. Okay, dicentric, chromosome with two centromere. Okay, polycentric, if chromosome consists more than two centromere, then it is called as a polycentric. Diffuse or non-located, the centromere which is diffused or spread all along the chromosome length, then it is called as a non-located or diffuse. And acentric, a chromosome without centromere is called as a acentric. Then what are the functions of the centromere? During the cell division, spindle fibers are attached to the centromere. Okay, and these spindle fibers or the centromere pulls chromosome towards the opposite pole during the anaphase. Okay, so during cell division, spindle fibers are attached to the centromere so that they pull the chromosome towards the opposite pole of the cell. In the formation of spindle fiber just before the metaphase and anaphase, centromere plays a significant role. Centromere may contain the gene which are responsible for the mitotic and meiotic divisions. Again, in the chromosome, secondary constriction is also present. In addition to the primary constriction or centromere, again secondary constrictions are also present in the chromosome. So secondary constriction represent the site of breakage and subsequent fusion. Certain secondary constriction contains the gene which induce the formation of nucleolus, and such structures are called as a nucleolar organizer or nucleolar zones. So this is a secondary constriction, and this one is the region of a nucleolar organizer. This one, nucleolar organizer associated with the secondary constriction plays a significant role in the formation of nucleolus. So secondary constriction usually plays significant role in the formation of the nucleolus. Then just say about the telomers. Telomers are nothing but the tips or ends of the chromosome. This one is called as a telomers. Okay, so telomers are the ends or tips, and the broken chromosome segment may again fuse at the region of the telomers. Again, one more term is a satellite. This is the satellite. This is a constriction, and this one is a satellite. Sometimes chromosome possesses rounded or spherical body at one end, then that is called as a satellite. It is separated from the rest of the chromosome by means of a constriction. Satellite remains connected with the rest of the chromosome by thin chromatin filament. This is the reason of a chromatin filament, and chromosome bearing satellite are called SAT chromosome or SAT chromosome. Here SAT stands for sine acid thymonucleonico, that means without thymonucleic acid or DNA. So this is about the general chromosome. Instead of these general chromosome or mitotic or meiotic chromosome, certain chromosomes are present which are larger, gigantic in size, and such gigantic chromosomes are called as a giant chromosomes, or also called as a special types of the chromosome. So these chromosomes are larger than the mitotic and meiotic chromosome, and therefore they are called as a gigantic chromosome, and such gigantic chromosomes are called as a giant chromosomes. Such giant chromosomes are of two types. First one is a polytene chromosome, and another one is a Lamb-Brush chromosome. Polytene chromosome, first of all, observed by the E.G. Balbiani in 1881 in the salivary gland cells of a larvae of a Chironomus. So this one is a Chironomus larvae, and therefore these polytene chromosomes are also called as a salivary gland chromosome, as they were first observed in the salivary gland cells of a larvae of a Chironomus. Polytene chromosome, here poly means many and tin means the strands. Okay, so polytene chromosome show large number of the chromonemata. These polytene chromosomes are also found in the foregut, midgut, epithelial cell, tracheae, Malpighian tubules, and fat body containing cells of the larvae like Drosophila species, Drosophila melanogaster, and Chironomus species. In Drosophila larvae, which is a fruit fly, this salivary gland cell and the nuclei are much larger than the somatic cells. Okay, so salivary gland cell which contains the nuclei, these nuclei are larger than the somatic cell. The chromosomes in the nuclei are about 50 to 200 times larger than the chromosomes found in the somatic cells in case of the Drosophila melanogaster. In Drosophila melanogaster, diploid chromosome number is 8. Okay, so 2n is 8, and these 8 chromosomes are present in a 4 pairs of a homologous chromosome. Polytene chromosomes are fused throughout their length, showing 4 pairs of the polytene chromosome. The centromere of all the chromosomes, so these are the arms of the chromosome, the centromere of all chromosomes are fused to form a chromocenter. So this is a region of a chromocenter. In the polytene chromosome consists of 6 strands. So in Drosophila melanogaster, 8 chromosomes are present in 4 pairs, and they consist of 6 strands radiating out from the common chromocenter. So this is a common chromocenter, and these 6 strands have been identified as one strand consisting of few bands represents 2 fused chromosome 4. So there is a single strand, one strand, which consists of few bands of 2 fused chromosome number 4. So chromosome number 4 consists of a 2 strand, and it represents one arm. So this is a chromosome number. These are the 2 chromosomes, and these are the strand. So single strand of a number 4 chromosome represented by means of a one strand, and it represents 2 fused chromosome 4. One longer strand, which is a X chromosome. One larger strand represents X chromosome. Out of now one strand, another strand, 6 strands were present. Out of 6 strands, 2 strands are represented by means of chromosome number 4 and chromosome X. Now 4 strands are present. Out of the remaining 4 strands, 2 strands represent the 2 arms of chromosome number 2, which is V shape. So this is a one strand, a right strand of the chromosome number 2, and this one is a left strand of chromosome number 2, which forms the V-shaped structure, while remaining 2 strands, this one and this one, while these remaining 2 strands represent the 2 arms of the chromosome number 3. In female larva, one strand represent as X, but it is actually the fusion of 2X chromosome, while in male larva, the X chromosome, one strand represent the X chromosome, while Y chromosome is completely fused with the chromocenter. A single large nucleolus is present attached to the chromocenter. Then what is the morphology of the polytene chromosome? Polytene chromosome are long and ribbon-like, and each polytene chromosome shows 3 parts. First one is called as band, second one is called as interband, and while the third one is called as a puff and Balbiani rings. So the bands, or these bands, are also called as gyre. These are transversely bands. These bands are transversely arranged and represent the chromomeres of chromonemata. Okay, just say about the normal chromosome. In a chromosome, 2 chromatids are present. Within a chromatids, chromonemata are present. Chromonemata possesses fibrils, and chromonemata possesses beaded structure, which are called as a chromomere. So these bands present in the polytene chromosome or gyres present in the polytene chromosome are transversely arranged chromomeres of the chromonemata. Okay, so chromonemata are present in a linear series. So these are present in a linear series and perpendicular to the long axis of the polytene chromosome. As already said, these are also called as a gyre, and this gyre is made up of continuous spiral of the DNA. This regarded as a linear arrangement of genes in the chromosome. These are rich in DNA content and a small amount of RNA and certain basic proteins. Just about the interband. This is the region of a interband. The region between two successive bands. This one is the band or gyre, this one is the band or gyre, this is a interband. So the region between two successive bands is called as a interband. These are also transversely arranged and made up of fine fibers perpendicular to the long axis of a chromosome and contains small amount of DNA. Bands are rich in DNA content, small amount of RNA and acidic protein. So interbands contains the acidic protein while the bands or the gyre contains the basic protein. And third one part is called as a PUPS and Balbiani rings. Okay, so the PUPS and Balbiani rings, the bands and interbands of polytene chromosome show some swellings, and these swellings are called as a PUP. Okay, these PUPs may include either single band or few adjacent bands. Okay, probably the formation of PUF is related to the secretory function performed by means of the salivary gland. So this one is the band, this is a interband, these are the PUPs. Okay, so the PUPs may include single band or few adjacent bands, and the function of the PUPs is the synthesis of RNA and protein. Some PUPs are larger than the other PUPs, and generally these PUPs are referred as a Balbiani ring. In Balbiani ring, chromonemata stretch out laterally in the form of loops, and such loops of chromonemata make the Balbiani ring. The loops gives fuzzy appearance to the polytene chromosome, and these fuzzy appearance is nothing but the Balbiani ring, which are rich in DNA, mRNA and proteins. Another one type of the chromosome, special chromosome, is the Lamb-Brush chromosome. So these Lamb-Brush chromosome are even larger than the polytene chromosome. This found in the plants and nuclei of developing oocytes of fish, amphibians, reptiles, birds, whose egg contain large quantity of stored yolk. Chromosomes look like brushes which are used to clean the chimney or kerosene lamps, or the brushes that are used to clean the bottles or test tubes or milk bottles. Okay, and therefore as they look like a brush, therefore they are called as a Lamb-Brush chromosome. These chromosomes are more than 1000 micron in length and 20 micron in the width. These are elastic and can be stretched without breaking. These chromosomes generally observed during the meiosis diplotin stage of prophase 1. Prophase 1 of meiosis consists of liptotin, zygotin, pachytin, diplotin. So during the diplotin, two homologous Lambert chromosomes are present in a pair, and they show such a type of a cross-like structure, and this cross-like structure is called as a chiasma, okay, or chiasma. So these cross-like regions at their contact called the chiasmata. Each Lambert chromosome is composed of two parts. First one is called as a main axis and another one as a lateral loops. Each chromosome consists of two chromatids, and these two chromatids form the main axis. If you see here, these are the two chromatids, first one chromatid and another one chromatid. These form the main axis of the polytene chromosome. Each chromosome consists of two chromatids. The homologous pair of chromosome consists the four chromatids. These two chromatids represent the main axis of the polytene chromosome. These polytene chromosome, these two chromatids possesses dense granules which are present on the main axis, and these are called as a chromomeres. Okay, so these are the dense granules, and these dense granules are present on the main axis or the chromatids, and these are called as a chromomeres. The chromomeres are also present in pair. Okay, from each chromomere, single loop arises on either side of the chromosome. From each chromomere, a single loop arises. This one is a single loop and this one is a single loop. So the loops arise on either side of the main axis. So each chromosome, from each chromomere, a single loop arises on lateral side of the main axis. Main axis and chromomere are rich in the DNA. Main axis is extended to form a lateral loop axis. So this is a main axis. Okay, this is a loop axis. So the main axis and chromomere are rich in DNA. Main axis is extended to form a lateral loop axis. The tips and the main axis, the tip of the main axis and centromere is without the loops. Okay, just say about the lateral loops. Lateral loops. The chromonemata give out fine loops at the lateral side, due to which chromosome looks like the lamp brush. Loop has a central axis which contains the DNA. Around the loop, see here, this is a diplotin condition, chiasmata formation. This is a lamp brush chromosome. This is a chiasmata. This is a main axis which consists of two chromatids, and these are the lateral loops. Around the lateral loops, this one region consists of a matrix region. Okay. So each loop has a central axis which contains the DNA. Around the loop, a jelly-like viscous substance is present, and this substance is called as a matrix. So this matrix composed of RNA and protein. Where is the matrix? Around each loop, a jelly-like or viscous substance is present, and this viscous substance is called as a matrix, which is rich in RNA and protein. Loops on the lateral side are composed of many subunits, and these subunits are called as a fibrils. So these are also the loops, and these loops consist of such a type of a fibrils. So there are two types of the loops. First one is a typical loop and another one is a special loop. A typical loop is a symmetrical and consists of a central axis from which RNA fibrils are given out. So these are the typical loop. While special loop is asymmetrical and consists of granules at their end. So these are the granules which are present at the end of the fibrils. Probably these granules have mRNA polymerase enzyme which synthesize mRNA. Thus, these granules help in the growth of oocytes and formation of yolk in the egg. This yolk is rich in protein which is synthesized by the Lamb-Brush chromosome. So two special types of the chromosome. First one is a polytene chromosome, another one is a Lamb-Brush chromosome, and general idea of the chromosome. Okay, so this is about the chromosome. We will see the next one part in the next one video. Till then,